I'm going to share with you my tips on bringing in more money. All of the money, you're going to see me totally geek out on this and nerd out. So I'm going to share some of my like little quirks and secrets. Um, so let's dive into it. I've got notes this time, you guys. I'm really excited. So I have like one, two, three, four really big things that are going to help you align and receive more money. But I'm going to talk about the what you got to do first, right? Because nothing just comes to you externally. So I've been wanting to make this video for a while. It's been a topic that's come up a lot. I just had the most amazing book of life session with a soul who is now like my soul sister for life. Amazing. And we were talking about it. So I promised her that I would get this done as soon as I could. And then by chance, I had a client cancel and reschedule for tomorrow. So I have an hour. Well, let's get into it. It might be an hour. I'm just going to warn you. I don't know. I'm going to try and get through it. So let's break down bringing in more financial flow. So the first thing, I've been on this journey a real freaking long time, man. And I used to joke about being a master manifester because I literally can bring anything into my world. But it is about your vibration aligning with the desired object. Money and time are man-made structures. They're currency. They're not frequency. So to bring in money, you can't. You got to figure out how to attract prosperity or wealth. I personally don't enjoy the word abundance because when I think of abundance, I think of my waistline and I don't want to bring in more of that. So I use prosperity and I use wealth as the frequency that I'm aligning with and what that looks like for me. So, first thing I want you to do, if you haven't already, go get a pen and paper. You're going to want to take some notes because use these tools. They're game changers. I love them. It's how I live my life. This is how I function, how I pull in my financial flow. So first thing we got to look at before I get into the fun tips, the easy tips, I'm going to do the hard work stuff first. You really would do well to figure out what is your belief in and around money. So your belief in your subconscious vibrates into your electromagnetic field. The law of vibration, law of attraction responds to that. So the law of attraction is your manifesting energy. You are only going to manifest what your energy matches. Like attracts like. So you need to figure out what's blocking it, what belief within my subconscious, within my inner child space. Inner child is where it's all at. What belief in there is limiting the flow coming to me? Okay. Now, I have mastered manifesting or aligning with financial flow. I have not mastered millions yet. I'm on that journey right now of like, what does it look like to align with a yacht? So that way we can do our retreats on a yacht, like a big ass yacht. So I'll keep you posted as I like navigate the big financial flow. But like six figures, yeah, no problem. So what does the inner child believe? What were they witness to with money? So you want to look at what was the money conversation in the home? What did dad do with money? What did mom do with money? Or dad, mom, whatever your parent structure was. What did your caregivers do with money? How did they talk about it? How did they spend it? Did they say they had to save it? Did they hide it from each other? Did one parent have more financial responsibility than the other parent? So you're going to be searching for, how did I learn? What did I learn money was? We have our sayings like money's evil. It doesn't grow on trees. It's the root of all evil, which is totally a lie. Rich people are greedy. Like we have all those things. We know that. Put all that aside. I want you to know, what did you witness with money? How did your parents spend it? How did they share it? What did they fight about it? Is money dangerous? Is it unsafe to talk about money? Is it unsafe to receive money? Does money get taken from me? My little girl witnessed my caregivers hiding money from each other, and one parent really dominating the other one financially, and hiding it. Like one of my caregivers would take like a certain dollar value out of the grocery allowance that they had and hide it to do her own thing. The other one would hide it in his work shed or his truck or whatever. So it was like money is not shared. You have to hide it. So when I got into relationships and I started uniting and co-manifesting money or sharing money, I would always go broke. And then when I was single, I would be very, very, very financially abundant. So for me, the belief was when you're in a relationship, you steal from each other, you hide from each other, you lie to each other. Money creates conflict, it creates argument. It's not safe to have money together. So it was a safety thing for me. And then it turned into it wasn't sustainable. So I've navigated healing those belief structures. So you just want to know, what was I witness to? What was the conversation? And you want to go into your inner child space and start to rewrite the story about that. If you're really struggling with that, there's the inner child program on our website for $27 Canadian, super cheap. It'll help you change all of that. So that's there. So it's the first thing. What do I believe about money? What's my resistance to money? The second belief you're going to look at is, do I receive? How do you receive compliments? How do you receive affection? How do you receive love? How do you receive admiration? How do you receive free time? What do you do with your free time? How do you receive in the world? That is going to be a strong indicator of how you are receiving your financial flow. So if you're uncomfortable getting compliments, being admired, being loved, being honored, if you're like, oh no, stop, then you're going to be blocking money as well. So you have to be in receiving mode in order to attract in financial flow, because financial flow is the thing for you. It's what you do with it. It's your gift in the world, right? So there's all of that. I want you to do that dive. That's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. Revisit it frequently, like every other day, have a little conversation with yourself, dig through that process. Now, here's my tricks to how I play with money. So remember that where focus goes, energy flows. I kind of hate that saying, but it's so accurate. So whatever you're focusing on is what you're putting your energy towards. First, what you believe is what you receive. Then it's what my focus is what my outcome is going to be. Universal flow does not understand the difference between choice or focus, or sorry, let me rewind that. Universal flow, so the universe, universal flow, understands your focus. It doesn't understand choice. So if you are like, I choose to allow more financial money, like more money into my life. I choose to no longer be poor. I choose to no longer struggle. I choose to say fuck it and do what I want with my money. What you're doing is putting your focus on the fact that you don't have it. You're putting your focus on the struggle, the desire to have more. And when we put our focus on the desire to have more, the awareness is I don't have. So therefore the focus is I don't have. So you're going to give more energy receiving alignment with I don't have. So your car will break down, or you'll get a medical bill, or who knows what. You'll get these little bumps in the road that are I don't have. So you want to put your focus on money's just a game. It's just a toy. It's just an experience. And I love that experience. When we go into a playful energy, it automatically lifts our vibration to a higher vibration, a more expansive vibration for the law of attraction to respond to. When we go to curiosity, we go into that wonderment of what's the best way. And when we're in curiosity, you're actually aligning with the highest possible outcome to take the path of least resistance. So curiosity is key. Playing in curiosity, not the like, how am I going to get this paid? And what am I going to do? And when's the money going to come in? And okay, I've got this and this and this. Like that's strife, that's worry, that's survival mode. I want you to go into, I wonder where the next $1,000 is coming from. That'll be exciting to see where it comes from. Like, I'm really excited to see how that unfolds for me. So you're going to go into that playful curiosity. So then let's navigate now into how I play with bringing in financial flow. One, the trees will never question if it's going to rain again, no matter how dry it is. They know, they trust. The trees trust the rain will come when it's needed. So you may go through dry spells, but if you truly trust that it's going to find its way to you, it will, 100%. The cool thing about being human is we are a survival species and we're learning to evolve into a thriving species. In thriving comes unity, compassion, all the gorgeous, beautiful things. We are a long way from there, but you can, in your own experience, move from survival to thrive. When we are in survival, we know that if our basic needs aren't met, we'll die. So I absolutely require food, water, shelter, or I'm going to die. We are a survival species, meaning we know we require these things to live. Okay. Therefore, those things will always find their way to you. I mean, in some countries, in some situations, but if you don't believe it's coming, it won't. Anyways, that's a different story. We're not going to get into that right now. We're just going to play here for a minute. So if you know it's a requirement for you to survive in order to have those basic things, you can change your requirement list into, it is an absolute requirement for me, for my evolution. So instead of surviving, for my evolution, it is 100% a requirement for me to experience soul purpose. It is an absolute requirement for me to experience love and understand unconditional love. For my evolution, this has to happen. So when we put our focus into these things have to happen for me to evolve, or as most of you call it, awaken, same thing. This is a requirement. So when you know it's a requirement and you believe it's a requirement, you're like, yeah, the only way I'm going to evolve is when I experience that piece. How do you master love if you do not get to experience? How do you master financial freedom if you do not get to experience? It's a requirement for your evolution in that particular energy to experience it. Therefore, it has to happen. And if you can own that, it happens because all your focus and all your energy is there. As long as you've done the beginning stuff and you've gone and healed the limiting beliefs that are blocking you, you then get to go into that mode and be like, it's an absolute requirement. 100%. It's a requirement for me to live a stress-free life and not have to think about my finances in order to continue to give to my family, my friends, or my loved ones, or my soul purpose, or whatever it is you're doing at that time. So I want you to take the mindset of like, it's a requirement. Of course it's coming. Otherwise I can't evolve. It's like going to school and saying, okay, I need to learn to be a doctor, but I require textbooks. I require the knowing. I require the experience. Same thing. If you know you're here to evolve or spiritually awaken, it's a requirement for you to experience these things. It's part of the human evolution. Therefore, it's got to happen. So I want you to take that mindset. Another fun thing I do. This one I do very well. I love this one. What if money is just simply a point structure? It's just points, and the human experience is a giant arcade park. And so you get to go and play the games and get the tickets and exchange those tickets for the things that you desire. So every time I pay my phone bill, I'm in Canada, the phone bills are, a little more points than other countries. So my phone bill is about $160. And every time I pay it, I'm like, 160 points for like everything that thing does for me? Yeah, I'll give 160 points to that. That's awesome. Where am I going to go and play and get more arcade points? And I literally look at it as a point structure. I know my heart is very pure. I know that I love and I give into this world. I'm very generous. So if I'm a beautiful person in my brain, I'm like, well, why wouldn't I have more points? Like, it's just a point exchange. Be good, get points. Do good, get points. Play, get points. And then choose what you want to put those points towards. And it's just an exchange of points. That's it. So that takes the pressure for me. This might not work for everyone, but it takes the pressure or the fear out of, oh my gosh, I need to make another $500. Oh my gosh, that bill is $300. How am I going to pay that? I don't want that pressure. I don't want that negativity. I don't want that struggle within my experience. So instead, I'm like, 300 points. I guess I'm going to play some games. What do I want to do? What do I want to do to bring that in? So that really, really supports me. And let me tell you, I have tried everything I went through a really horrific breakup, like in my 30s, that took a lot of money from me, a tremendous amount of money from me. And I had been able to build a very lucrative life for myself. All of a sudden, that was all swiped out from underneath me. And I was in this phase of like, holy shit, what do I do? And I've had ups and downs. I've experienced it all. I've been bankrupt. I've been homeless for a short amount of time. And I've been very, very, very wealthy. And now I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Um, so I know all ends of the scale. And I remember the phase of sheer discomfort and panic of how am I going to survive? And there's so many little things that I tried there that just didn't work. And then when I sort of switched my mindset and worked on, am I in receiving mode? Can this just be a point structure? Everything shifted for me. So then I was able to go a little bit further into the next big one. So this is the big, big one. Once you sort of start playing with that, this is where you're going to see my inner nerd come to the table. I have an amazing imagination and I'm a bit dorky. I'm a lot dorky, but I'm okay with that. I actually really like it. I think it's a cute thing. So I'm going to share my dorkiness with you. One, money is currency. So I can't really attract currency into my life. I can attract frequency into my life because I am an energy being. I'm a frequency. So what do I want to label money? I don't like abundance because, like I said, I think of an abundant waistline. I'm not using that word. Abundance to me means abundant everywhere in all of the things. I don't want that. So then you can play, I start playing with the frequency of wealth or the frequency of prosperity. So you get to choose, you play around with both. And I decided to commit fully to a relationship with wealth, fully committed relationship with wealth. So my imagination is wild. So it's like, all right, if wealth was a person, this is a really good exercise. If prosperity or wealth was a person, what's your fears associated with that relationship? And when I started diving into that, I was like, oh, that they're not going to always show up. Huh. Doesn't that remind me of, like, I don't know, my childhood? So I had a conversation with wealth. And I said, I want to be in a committed relationship with you. And wealth in my imagination was like, I would love to be in a committed relationship with you. So then I started envisioning like this old, sweet, wise grandfather. And he's done his life and he's saved and he's accumulated all this financial freedom. And so now he just wants to take care of me as his granddaughter, as his divine offspring. So every time I pay something, it's either a point exchange or I'm like, hey, wealth, I really like this. Can you do that for me? Because the only thing wealth wants to do is take care of. That's the relationship I have with wealth. I'm in a committed relationship with that grandfather figure of taking care of me, of loving me, of supporting me, of helping me align with my dreams, helping me stay in soul purpose and give to the world, helping me be fueled and rewarded for all of my hard work. But just because I'm loved, just because this grandfather loves me and has it to offer me. And I stay fully committed to that relationship, which means I ask and then I receive. It means I'm not going to go smack talk my grandfather behind his back and be like, never shows up for me. I can't even believe that this isn't paid. Like, what am I going to do? And this is all on me and all the pressure. I don't do that. I stay committed to the relationship I have. That looks like, I love you. Thank you. I feel so honored. It's beautiful to be blessed. This is such an incredible experience. I even go so far. This is one of the things I do every single week. I love flowers. Like, I love fresh flowers. And my partner does not think to get them for me ever. So Grandpa and I go on a journey. So every Sunday, where do we want to buy flowers from this week? And what type of flowers do I want? What kind of bouquet do I want? And so I think about what kind of bouquet I want. I think about and I go and explore different flower shops. We go on an adventure. I'm like, want to go on an adventure and find the flowers for the week? Yeah, we do. So I get in my car with my grandfather, Mr. Wealth, and we go to the flower shop and I pick out whatever I want. And I'm like, oh, I really love these. It's not my responsibility to look at the price point. I can get whatever I want because he's there with me. And then I pick it out and he pays. That's how my imagination is wild, right? When I go grocery shopping, you want to come along? Sure do. You're my priority. I'm here. I'm here to 100% support you endlessly. And it's such a loving relationship. My relationship with wealth is unbelievably loving. That was a game changer for me. Yeah. So there's my thoughts. There's all my quirky dorky. It's how I live, and it works for me really well. So let me know in the comments what resonated the most out of this for you. Do you think I'm totally crazy? That's okay too. I think those comments are really funny. But what resonated with you, and what are you going to do with your grandfather or your grandmother? How are you going to create the relationship with wealth, and how are you going to stay committed to that relationship? What does that person look like for you? What were the fears that are associated with that previous to knowing what the relationship is meant to be? And what are you going to go buy together? What's the first thing you're going to go and buy together? So I'd love to hear it all. Yeah, so it's been wild. I'm hoping to do another couple of videos next week. We have so much going on, but I am opening up. There's been such a wave of new souls, and I know that we're all going through a massive transformation right now, like hardcore. The energy is spiking for a lot of like internal discovery and lessons this month. So I'm going to open up a few time slots a week, like about 3 a week for Book of Life and Soul Purpose sessions. You can go to diamondno.com under services. You'll see that description. So I'm going to open that up to the public. I haven't done that in a long time. It's been off of referral only, but I'm here. Let's do it. Let's create beautiful change together, and know like June or July, August are all about you aligning with a more fulfilling sense of life. So that does look like more love. It does look like more soul purpose. It does look like more financial flow. If you do the work, you have to be the one to align with it. Nobody exterior is going to be like, here you go, have that. That's fun. But you can learn through that session with me what's blocking you and what's actually meant for you and how to get there. So about 2-3 spots a week I've got available right at this time. So that's there, and continue to shine, man. Like we're in really cool times, and the coolest thing I'm seeing is soul family, like soulful, really connected family, like really coming together, and your experience expanding with people who really truly resonate with you. And I feel very honored that that's happening for me right now as well. So it's incredible times. So keep riding the wave, continue to stay brave, bold, raw, and I'll see you when I see ya. Bye, guys.